Python is notorious for letting anyone into the party, be it strings, integers, dictionaries. They can all just walk right in, since it's a dynamically typed free-for-all language. However, as your code base grows, that party turns into a disaster. And for that very reason, we are putting a security guard at the door. This guard is type annotations. So, with all that said, let's get started. You can find all the code if you go to this website 21stcenturycorporation.tech, go to the tutorial section, go to Python tutorial for beginners, and you can find all the code over here. So let's jump right into the video. Suppose we have a function. This function is like an open door. If another developer accidentally passes a string instead of a float for the price variable, Python will say, okay, yeah, come in, right until the program crashes in production. Type annotations are how we write the list of variables or parameters that are accepted by the Python interpreter. An example can be the following code. Here you notice where we have a specific type for the parameters. We are using colon for those parameter variables, and we are using an arrow for when we are trying to return a value. It is also thanks to pip 526 that we can do this not only for functions but also for variables. Previously we used to create this variable and assign a value. However, when we are writing code in the industry, that too when we are using Python, we are expected to write comments, whether it be single line or multi-line, as well as type annotations, so that for any object you create, Python will store all of these rules in a special dictionary called Annotations. An example can be this very code where we create a function called, let's say, calculate total. We have this variable called, or the parameter called price, and we are adding a type called float. Then we have another parameter called tax rate, and we are also passing float. And lastly, we want to return that type as float. After that, we want to return a price multiplied by 1 plus tax rate, and we will get the tax rate, we will get the price. After that, if we want to print the receipt, so let's say check the receipts. For that, we can use a print function and name of that function, and use the annotations attribute. We will again learn all of this about attributes and classes when we are learning about object-oriented programming. So when we run this, we will get the types of all the variables in the form of a dictionary. But here is the most important thing about type annotations. Python doesn't actually enforce these rules. At runtime, Python completely ignores all your annotations, and it lets the wrong data types right past the security guard that you have created, since type annotations are static. They are just notes for the developers reading your code and for your IDE. If we actually want to enforce it, we need to use a third-party package called MyPy, and to install it we need to use something called pip, which is, if I'm not wrong, is called pip installs package. So yeah, pip installs package. So to use that, we need to give the command pip install MyPy, and I am installing it in a global environment. If you want to install it in a local environment or in a virtual environment, you need to create that virtual environment first, and then you can install it, and it is recommended as well, but I'm doing it just for the global environment. So after you have installed it, you can write something like this. Like first you can write MyPy execution, or we can create a new file, but yeah, you can do it right over here. We just comment it out, and let's say we create a function called hello. We have a parameter, let's say name, which is obviously a string, and we will be returning a string. So return hello and name. So after you create this, we will print hello, let's say John, and we will now print an integer instead of a string. So let's say 45. So when we run this, it will not give an error, supposedly. Yes, because it is converting this part, this integer thing, to a string, and it is returning it as a string. However, when you are trying to use a terminal, and sorry, dir, you can use the Python command. So Python -m to run commands, and you can use MyPy and pass the name of the file or the code that you want to check and hit enter, and you will get this error where this is not actually an error from the interpreter, but it is actually a type check error. So the thing is, you have created this function called hello, and you're passing an integer where it expected a string. So integer and string are incompatible data type, so you need to pass a string for a string and an integer for an integer. So that is an error, and this gives a safety of a statically typed language like Java or C++, but you have this readable format of Python. So if you have to conclude it, we can obviously write some good code with the help of this type annotations. However, if you're using LLMs to generate code, then it is a good idea that you check your code and make sure you clean it up. So yeah, if you like this video, then hit the like button, and if you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so you never miss an update, and I will see you next time.
Well, if you need a hand to carry